Welcome to Chaos to Clarity, where we discuss healing trauma with godly guidelines. I'm your host, Jean Fontenot. If there's any topic you'd like to discuss, let me know in the Q&A section. Today's topic is God's timing. We tend to do things in our own time, and we don't understand the meaning of seasons. Seasons in the human mind are like spring, summer, fall, and winter. But that's not the case in God's timing. God's version of seasons is like, okay, you're going to grow, you're going to isolate, you're going to study, and then you're going to flourish. We often don't trust God in His timing, and we want to rush into things. And by this, we disobey Him. You can read in Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1 through 8, and I'm not going to read it for time's sake, to learn about God's way of thinking in the seasons. A personal testimony of mine in this area is like mourning and healing. I struggle with that a lot. I usually stay busy to not deal with things and just think, oh, it's going to go away. Yeah, right. It didn't. Everything ends up coming up to the surface a little at a time, kind of like bubbles. Possibly because God knows if we dealt with it all at once, we couldn't handle it. Spending the past summer working on myself and kind of digging deep and dealing with some of the things that I had tucked away for a long time, it was hard. There was a lot of good days and a lot of bad days, and I basically isolated myself. Like, I worked and I tended to my children, but I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything, and it just allowed me the time that I needed with God to deal with things that I thought that were okay-ish, which obviously they weren't. And I took the bad things that I had to deal with, and I was like, okay, God, I'm giving this to you, and I'm going to step out on faith that something good can come of it. So basically sowing all of the bad, traumatic things that happened to me into heaven as a seed. Like, okay, let's use this to help others. And it also grew my faith in the process. God is planning our destiny. All we have to do is trust and wait. Patience is not one of my strong points either. Just a little FYI. So I asked God to work on me in that area. Help me to be trusting and to wait patiently. And then I'm reminded in Psalm 16:5, Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessing. You hold my future. So we just have to let God navigate. We have to trust Him. We have to make sure that everything we're doing is obedient to Him, and He's going to pave the way. He's going to order the steps that we need. Some more references to Scripture is 2 Peter 3:8, Isaiah 48:9, and 1 Corinthians 10:13. Thank you so much for listening to Chaos to Clarity, helping one another declutter our minds together. If you're loving the podcast, I'd be so honored if you'd go ahead and hit the follow button and leave me a review. Until next time, friends.